Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Happy New Year. I know we're in March, but I've been away for so long and I'm actually back. It exhausts me. Creating videos, editing is a lot, but I want you guys to know that you're not alone. Being on this journey has been quite lonely. It's not that I don't have support, but it's more of a moral support rather than having persons who are close to me being on the same journey. Support is support. I appreciate it, but community, in terms of those who are actually on the journey, has been even more beneficial than what we consider to be moral support. Now, GBPJPY has been a little interesting. We want to break it down to the T for you. I will show you why my bias is what it is for next week. So stay tuned. By the way, like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Thank you. Okay. All right. So as you see, I've chosen the Jamaican colors because I'm Jamaican. So I have the green, the yellow, and the black background just to give that a highlight. So I hope that you appreciate it. I think it's beautiful, by the way. Just saying. Okay. All right. So let's get into it. GBPJPY. We must start on the weekly time frame. Okay, because based on my strategy, that's what I usually do. I go on the weekly time frame and I basically give an analysis, a breakdown in terms of direction. So on the weekly, daily, and 4-hour time frames, we'll be looking at overall direction. Okay, so in terms of overall direction, we're on the weekly time frame. Prices has been creating. Okay, so that's a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Structure broke somewhere around here, creating a change of structure for us. All right, so this is our new, so price broke structure around here, retested just in here, gave us a new low, broke above that new low, made basically a bullish shift, continued upwards, and then it broke that previous low. Okay, here it created a lower high, continued to make lower low, lower high, and lower low. Now on the weekly time frame, I'm going to go ahead and say price is actually bullish. And why did I choose bullish? It's bullish because price, it's actually bearish, my bad. So it's bearish because price has not broken this area here, which was our previous higher low. And since price hasn't broken that area, it is still considered to be bearish on the weekly time frame, considering that price could come as high as 194.5 thereabout and then break below, going into the previous low. Yes, creating a new lower low. So I'm going to go ahead and say on the weekly time frame, based on the positioning of the candlesticks, price is actually bearish. Okay, so let me just get my anchored text. So on the weekly time frame, price is bearish. All right, let's get down to the daily to see if it coincides. So on the daily time frame, let's look at what's happening here. So the daily time frame is going to provide a little more, not necessarily clarity, but essentially yes, because we can see what's happening at the areas that we would have marked off on the weekly time frame. All right, so let's go on the daily time frame. Price still has not broken above that previous area, just around there. Let me mark off that area, which is going to be around psychological level 194.5. Let me label that. It's going to be just around 194.5. So I'm going to take that as my round psychological level. Price truly has not broken it, which was our previous lower high. Really, in general, it would still be considered to be in a downtrend. However, I'm going to go out on a limb and to say on the daily time frame, it is bullish. Two reasons for that. As you can see, the market closed on Friday with a bullish engulfing candlestick on the daily time frame Also, even though it did not take out that previous lower high, price has been creating higher highs each time as it goes up. So I hope you guys see what I'm saying there. Price is creating higher highs as it goes along, has not been breaking below. Let me just highlight that. As you can see, went higher just around here, and it went higher just around here. Okay, usually I draw a candlestick, a trend line. And should we draw a trend line, 3 touches makes it valid. We have 3 touches, 1, 2, and 3. Price would have broken that trend line, making it very much invalid. Now, let me just mark off some of my areas in terms of support and resistance on the daily time frame. All right, it's a strong area of support. And right around here, let me bring it in a little closer. Very strong area of resistance. And I'm going to also mark off my 194.5 area. And on the daily, this was the highest point. All right, so I've marked off all of those areas. And on the daily time frame, I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to say it's bullish because of how the candlestick close and the fact that it's not breaking below the previous areas. Right, let's get down to the 4-hour time frame just to see what that looks like. Okay, so on the 4-hour time frame, as you can see, we have a lot more happening here, and we should be clearer in terms of structure here. Okay, so we saw price. Let me start here. Lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Price came here, lower high, lower low, broke above completely, came back into the area to test it, created a new higher high. So we saw the shift of structure just around here, came back into that area, created another higher high, and now it's looking to create a new higher high. So I'm going to go on and say on the 4-hour, I'm actually seeing bullish structure. So for the coming week, at least from Monday to about Wednesday, Tuesday, I'm only looking for buys. All right, so I also want to tell you exactly what will happen since I'll be looking for buys. I've marked out my area, so I am good to go. This being my previous low. By the way, guys, this here is basically an invalid area, right? And it's invalid because price has not yet created a new higher high. So we're not paying too much attention to that area. If price breaks that area, we can still look for buys. It's not yet bearish until it breaks 189. So this here would be the previous low, all right, which we're looking at around psychological level 189. Very, very strong area. So we have to pay attention to that area there. Now, what will I be looking for in terms of entry? Okay, so if I should take the buy, my entry, the first thing I look for is my area of interest. Where am I looking for price to return before I take that buy? I use my fib tool to determine where I want the candlesticks to land before I choose to take that buy. Now I'm taking it from this previous low area to the most recent high, and as you can see, anywhere between these areas are considered to be valid areas of retracement, from 78.6 all the way to 23.6. Price has gotten into the 50% actually, as you can see just around here, wicked into the 50%, went all the way up. Now if it gives me a double bottom anywhere here, I'm taking the buy after a shift of structure. So my area of interest, let me just make note of that. My area of interest is going to be anywhere between 192 all the way down to, let me take it a little bit, it could wick into this area, let's say 189.5. If it breaks below, I'm completely out of that. If it does break above this previous high without going into the area of interest, I might not take the trade either. Okay, so stick to your plan as much as you can. By the way, before you watch my videos, always analyze the chart before, so you know what you are looking for. Okay, so I'm looking for those for my areas of interest. Now, what are my entry signals? My entry signals, first one, definitely market structure is very important. So shift of structure is going to retrace in a bullish structure, bearish structure rather, but pushes up in a bullish structure. So anywhere on the 30-minute or 1 hour, I look for the shift of structure. After the shift of structure, what comes next or what follows? Usually the entry signal, and that entry signal can be a candlestick pattern, bullish engulfing candlestick. It could be inverted head and shoulder, which is a very, very strong one. It could be an evening star, whatever it might be. I mean, a morning star, whatever it chooses to be for your entry signal. I look for the candlestick pattern at specific areas. All right, by the way, the time frame that I find to be best for candlestick patterns is a 1 hour and the 2 hour. For shift of structure, you can go anywhere from the 4 hour, and after you see that shift, the 4 hour too for the candlestick pattern. All right, so candlestick pattern, shift of structure, 4 hour, 1 hour, 2 hour, the lower time frames. All right, once you see that, you are good to go. 30 minutes or 15 minutes for the continued shift of structure. All right, so you look at the shift of structure on the 4 hour. If you see that happening, you scale down and you look for your entry signals also on lower time frames. Now, I also use the MA or the moving average. Once it crosses under, price is about to go up. Moving average, some persons use it for smaller time frames. I use it on the 1 hour, so it depends on your plan. You can stick to that particular plan. Okay, now I usually use trend lines at points, but right now I'm not really looking for a trend line in this situation. All right, so it depends. All right, if it touches the trend line, that would be wonderful, right at 189.5. In that sense, I would be looking for a trend line. But if I see this shift of structure anywhere in this area that I've marked off, I'm going to be taking the buys. Now, what's my take profit area? My take profit area is going to be the negative 27%. And the reason I'm choosing that, you could give or take 10. So I'm going to say at 194. Now, I know this is 194.5. And usually you take your buys into the highest area. My first TP is actually going to be the highest area, which is the previous high just around 193. However, what if price opens, pull back a little, and then breaks 193, retest 193? Then I'll be looking for my next TP area of 100 pips of 194. You can take 50 pips from it. Maybe it's a 1 to 2. You can take 30 pips depending on your plan. You don't have to always wait for those areas. All right. So TP1, should it get into the box to push up, is going to be the previous high, which is 193. So let me make note of that. TP1 will be not 193. Once price breaks above, TP2 194. All right, and of course we will wait to see if price breaks 194.5. It will get into 194.5 to look for our next area, which is gonna be just around 198. All right, so we're not jumping the gun right now. We're taking it a step at a time. I've shown you the possible entry points. I've told you my bias for this week. I could be wrong. I could be right. By midweek, if you don't see the trade playing out, if it breaks below 190, 189, so let's say it breaks below 189, my bias completely changes here to back to sells. All right. However, I will not be looking for sales if it doesn't break 189 at all. Definitely will not be looking for sales. All right, unless it breaks 189, because I'm a little bit confident about the buys, and that's because I cross-reference the yen pairs, and especially for EJ, the structure, the bullish structure is very, very clear, very, very defined. I realize that GBP, the Great Britain dollar has been affected by every little movement, so it's a little bit sporadic at this time over AJ or EJ or even CAD JPY or UJ. All right, even though this is the main pair, I actually look at those in terms of their direction to see where it might go. All right, so I'm at the end. Thank you so much. Like, share, subscribe, guys. If you have any ideas of what you'd like to see on the channel, please let me know. For now, bye bye. Thank you.